Okay, let's talk through all these golf events that you have coming up.
Gabby, I'm glad you asked. Got my calendar right here. July 17th at Red Run, and then July 31st, I have the American Golf Outing for the Cancer Society.
I also have the American Cancer Society golf outing on the 31st, and also I got yours on the 18th, but he'll
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Whoa, boys, these are a lot of events and golf outings.
Well, you want me to miss my own golf tournament?
Gabby, they're all great colors.
I mean, this is
Hold on. I got this. Guys, I got this. Don't worry about it. Hold on a second.
He always.
Hey guys. Thanks for coming so fast. How are you? Remember the guys from Randy Wise, right? Sir. The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
Watch for the eye.
Stay tuned.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much. Brought to you in part by Premier Security Solutions, Fairway Packing Company, and Swiss Insurance. Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D.
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal. Ruhl, that guy over there, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We have Sam Flannel. We have Spencer Raxter as well. We have all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Subscribe to the YouTube channel of Woodward Sports. Jump in that chat thread. Get your thoughts out there. There will be another way that you can get your thoughts out here today. Against my better judgment, D-Mac. The second hour of the show.
Yeah, we worked so well last time. Let's do it again.
Yeah, you know, and that's not the way. That's not the way.
No.
I'm presenting this. That's not the thought process I'm taking with this. Second hour of the show, we'll open up the phone line and we'll take whatever open lines 313. Whatever you want to talk about, go ahead.
Spenny, I got the caption. Shit show.
Shit show.
Yeah,
We'll see.
you know what? It didn't
Bring
go
your
so
best.
well. It didn't go so well the first time.
It's a big day. I'm I was talking to Flannel before, Neal, and I asked Flannel a question before the show. I said, is it because like I'm not a major basketball fan, but I'm a sports fan, obviously a Pistons fan, but unless somebody reminded me tonight was the NBA draft or tomorrow night's the NBA draft. I mean, have you seen it advertised anywhere? Would
Just
you
the
know?
usual
Do you have the
ESPN
juice for it?
circles. I mean, well, it's obviously different for me because I'm kind of in those
It
circles.
just seems like
you know what I'm saying?
the hype is down.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, because the drama's gone, right? Like,
Yeah,
everyone know who's got the number one pick, and that's it. That's all. And then otherwise, you know, the draft's perceived as a little less than, I guess, this year in terms of top-end talent or whatever. It's like there's Wembanyama, and that's it, according to perception. Now, the math suggests that there'll be 4 dudes that come out of the draft, because there always is.
Right.
When you go across the board of the.
It's just where are they in the draft?
Where are they in the draft? That's the question, and we'll find out some of the answers to that. But yeah, D-Mac, we're gonna do it. We're gonna open up the phone lines, and I'm doing it. I'm not doing it because I'm a good guy or because it's the will of the people or anything like that. I'm doing it because D-Mac sometimes, and I've used this a lot in my life, and it took me a while to understand this. You know, with wisdom, getting older. Sometimes D-Mac, problems solve themselves.
Okay.
And we'll do it again. And then I have the feeling, if I were handicapping this, I would put problems solving themselves at minus 210. Like
really?
Yeah.
Really? You're that confident in it?
I am that confident in it.
That's almost get right territory. Wow.
Yeah, problems
All right.
will solve themselves today. Sam Flannel, you're going to be the one on the front lines in all this.
Yes, that is going to be me.
What do you think? What's your gut telling you?
My gut is telling me that there's about a 50-50 chance. I would say.
Really? Okay, so
Yeah.
you're more confident than I am.
I've taken a lot of good callers before.
You got the synthesizer on in there? Does anybody else hear that, or is that just me?
What's he at a rave?
Does it sound like that to you too?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. We're probably good now.
Oh,
right?
we're good now.
Yeah.
It sounded like a robot.
Sorry,
for
there
a
was
second.
there was a little thing I had to
There's
press.
a little audio.
Yeah. Okay. That
We're
makes
good.
sense.
We're good.
Spenny thought we were in the club.
I was so confused. I thought it was Daft Punk.
Ryan in the woodwardsports.com chat thread says, take these nuggets of wisdom from Neal. How you feeling about it, Spenmo?
We'll see. The heavyweights get some good callers.
Do you really?
I'm not gonna lie. We have some good callers. Terrell from FL. I'm Salty calls in. He's always good. We've got a couple guys that call in, and they bring some serious. Ryan in a car always calls in.
Okay.
There's some good calls. We've had some bad callers as well. I'm not gonna say it's only good, but there's some good guys.
Don't
out
be
there.
telling me the roads are paved with gold here, Spenny.
Yeah,
all right.
It's not an exact science, but it's a coin flip.
Okay. Jack Harrington says Rod better call in, Neal. You hold him accountable. Dan Wood, El Mago will call in. We'll take a call from Javi Baez.
Shit show. If you want my opinion, I think it's going to be a shit show, but I'm here for it. Let's go.
BD3, El Mago is back. Yeah.
Shots.
I was promised that call. Now, that call won't count. If somebody calls in and says El Mago's back and hangs up, that goes in the Caller Hall of Fame for Big
that's
D
a good
Energy.
call.
That's a good call. We'll take that call. But there's a very fine line between a good call and a not so good call. We'll leave it at that.
That's fair.
You guys seem to be a little more optimistic than me. That's fine. That's fair. It'll play out.
I told Terry I was gold list on Mike and Terry back in the day. Because when I worked at a car dealership, I would just be driving home and they'd be on and I'd always call in, so I didn't even get screened. I'd just go, boop, right to the air.
Goat status,
Yeah.
huh? Okay.
Wow, on the sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rack says, are we going to get Rod or the other account he was spewing nonsense from yesterday? I don't know. I want Rod to call in. Rod. You. This is largely because of you, Rod. For real, it is. You were so passionate about it, and obviously you watch the show every day. Well, I mean, he was. So you know what? I'll reward that passion. We'll do it.
No, I got sidetracked because Mike G was noticing that your shirt is dope, and I was wondering if the same person that chirped you with your fuchsia shirt that he said was pink would say, look at the opinions of the man with the shirt like that on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's going to believe you.
I hope we can work this in a little bit later on in the show. But your Detroit Tigers were 2 hit yesterday by the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah. They're back.
They're back, though. It's a pennant. I was told it's a pennant chase.
Veerling wasn't in the lineup.
And this whole Veerling's not in the lineup, though he didn't play Kerry Carpenter.
Yeah.
You would have thought that he sat Ted Williams,
I mean,
man.
those are our two best hitters. Like, you got to play them every day. I don't care if they're not good against lefties or whatever the reasoning. Like, with what they're dealing with the OPSs and the batting averages you see down that lineup, the two guys that are hitting over 270, like, you got to play them every day.
I suspect this, and I don't know. Did any of the Detroit media address it with AJ Hinch?
I'm not sure.
You would think they would have, because it set Twitter on fire yesterday. I mean, people lost their minds about this Kerry Carpenter thing. And my suspicion, my guess is, D-Mac, and I'll run this by you. You're a huge baseball guy. You're a dork. You watch Sunday Night Baseball, for Christ's sake, still. But here's my suspicion on all that, is it's a day game today, night game yesterday, lefty on the mound. If you're going to pick one of the games to play, Kerry recently coming back from injury, right? Extended.
No,
Yes.
the whys are there.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, that's
we
all I
don't
was
care
asking for.
because he hit a home run the game before. So he's got to automatically get back in because, part of the winning success, and people don't understand what you're talking about is that this has already been a thought process. It wasn't like he just decided that he was going to hold him out. This has already been planned on his rehab, on his comeback, on how they were going to use him. It's just unfortunate that the rest of the guys couldn't step up and they only got 2 hits. So, I mean, is anybody else sort of like more entertained with the Jekyll and Hyde? Because but there's more than I thought there'd be this summer, right? I'm being realistic to the expectations that I had, and at least, hey, there's different things to pay attention to. Because again, I turned it on, I turned it off. When I heard in the first few innings how we're supposed to light this pitcher up and we can't even make contact. So, but to me, I'm entertained. Neal, you asked me, I found a way to be entertained by the Tigers this year. And I don't worry about those logistics. If you're breaking down the why, you don't obviously understand the baseball, the injuries, the coming back and stuff. The reason why people are upset is because he went yard and we won the other night. It's facts.
I know. It's a wild dichotomy, and
Oh, I love that word.
It's incredible. Like, I've never seen anything. Ismail, you ever seen anything like this in Detroit sports?
With
where
the love and hate for the Tigers.
yeah, but I don't even know that there's hate. Like, they come out and they get shut out by the Royals, which is, they are capable of this. It happens once a week by the math that they do get shut out. It happens once a week. Like, you can almost set your watch to
It's not supposed to be
it.
by the Royals.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, I've never seen us celebrate a team like this before. And again, the whole Kerry Carpenter thing was unreal to me yesterday, watching that play out in real time.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen this?
I mean, it's the people want something to hold on to. Now, this is baseball season. It is the dry days for
it's all
Detroit
we
sports. It's all we got. So they want to hold on to something, I guess.
Chuck Brewer says, well, 2 hits, at least they were not no hit. That is true. That is absolutely true. Elmago's back because he got a hit yesterday.
We
He's
raised
back.
that on base percentage to what?
Like 240. Hey, I don't want to speak out of school here. Let me.
Yeah, wait, watch your tongue. Neal.
Yeah.
Watch your tongue.
We got to be right about stuff around here. So, it is. It's just this is incredible to me. I've never seen anything like this where a team regularly gets shut out, 2 hit once a week.
But you know what the cool thing is? Like, after going through losing streaks and this and then all this stuff, you're still in the hunt in your division. That's how bad your division is, right? You look up and you're only 4 games out or what. Like, you honestly, if you can find a way to put something together, you can actually compete in this division. That's how bad it is.
But they get shut out once a week.
I
They
get
can't.
it, but they go and win games. They go
They
and win
can't.
games they're not supposed to. Right? Like, this is Jekyll and Hyde. I can't explain it. So if we're sitting here like this, imagine AJ Hinch.
Oh, it's got
to be just
wild for him.
wild.
Like-
I'd love to have that 5-minute conversation when he shuts the door and he goes, bro.
Yeah, man, it is. It's absolutely incredible. And, again, I want to get this right. Elmago's on-base percentage is .273.
But he's hot lately.
But he's back.
Last 7 games, 321.
But he's
something
hot
else.
and he's back, hitting .234 with 5 home runs. I'll never understand it. But hey, do you?
Hey, you know what? You got about 4 more years to figure it out. So keep trying to work it out.
with Elmago. Yeah, yes, you do.
He ain't going nowhere.
Woodwardsports.com chat thread. Mike G says Torque is playing better, and he is. And to be fair, like, I kind of railed on Torque a little bit, but at the same time, I was also consistent about it and said he's got a blank slate for the rest of the year. We obviously had a year of minor league development wiped out. We got him. He ain't going anywhere. So it's one of those things where he had the free reign. However it was going to go, it was going to go. And yeah, you've seen some encouraging signs by him. Absolutely, there's no doubt about it.
Real quick,
Yes.
just on this, are you with J. Will fan where he says, Neal, at least they won't lose 100 or more games?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, so you still think that they? No, that's why I want to bring it up. Are they still in jeopardy of doing that? Do you think, or do you think that this?
We remember when
That's
they were.
what I'm saying.
Remember when they were 1 game back of 500 and lost 9 in a row? Like
that's what I'm saying.
that happened like a couple weeks ago.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Like it's wild. Rich Diana says as a team they're hitting 228. Like they are.
D-Mac's
gonna
right.
do?
It is like Jekyll and Hyde. Like, you don't know what you're going to get a week of good baseball where they win 5 out of 6, and then a week where they get 6 hits in 5 games.
You know what? It's interesting because I'm interested with like Scooble. Is he coming back soon? Are we getting Are we getting guys to come back? Like this, it makes you at least pay attention to see what's going on. You can see it coming. If they're not hitting, well, you can turn the game off or whatever. But they're making you at least pay a little bit of attention, even if it's for like yesterday of who's not in the lineup and people are complaining. If you're complaining, you're caring.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Woodwardsports.com chat thread. Again, Dog Pound says, who's the best hitter again, Neal, for the Tigers? Well, in the month of June, it's Miguel Cabrera.
Kerry Carpenter's got like a 1.15 OPS since he's came back. McKinstry's been good, but he got injured.
Well, he was 3 for 33 up until a couple games ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Veerling's been pretty good. They've got a couple spots, but Yeah, it's been Miggy. And it was Riley Green until he got injured.
It's weird to me how that's the other angle that's weird to me about this. Real quick before we cut to the break is like people say, well, McKinstry's been good. He was 3 for 33.
Yeah.
You know what? For like a week and a half.
He had a really good stretch though, where he was hitting everything.
And he did, and that's fair. But like we forget about the 3 for 33 but it does count. Like that is part of it. I don't know. Planet Fitness is a part of it for me every single day. I'm in there. You go to planetfitness.com, $10 a month, access to your home club. You want to be a baller and a shot caller? Hey, $24.99 a month, Black Card membership, Planet Fitness. You can go anywhere in the world where there's a Planet Fitness. And bring in a guest every time you want to go. Unlimited use with all the amenities. You basically own Planet Fitness for $24.99 a month. Don't forget, too, the high school summer pass going on right now. High school students ages 14 to 19 can work out for free all summer long at Planet Fitness until August 31st. Go to planetfitness.com. Look into that for more. You want to join? You haven't done it yet? You want to join? Very simple. Go to planetfitness.com. Pull in the parking lot of one of the over 50 Metro Detroit Planet Fitnesses. You can join there. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Off and pushing Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread as well. Happy to have you along for the ride. Coming up right about 11:30, we will talk to Mariah Rose, the daughter of Fab Fiber Jalen Rose, Spencer Raxter's great personal friend. He hangs out with them on the weekends.
Wouldn't go that far.
Him and Jalen. They're just out there kicking it.
Wouldn't go that far.
She handled social media for the Atlanta Hawks for a long time. She has a podcast out, social media influencer, 1/3 followers on TikTok. We'll talk about the NBA with her, NBA reporter as well. We'll wrap some Piston stuff in there, too. We'll weave it around. The NBA draft is tomorrow as well. But just wrapping up this Tigers discussion, and, you know, the people are saying, so is it lock, stock? They won't lose 100 games. I could see a world where they get in the playoffs, and I could see a world where they lose 100 games still. I mean, there's 90 games left. They'd have to lose 59 of them to lose 100. It's still in play. Like, it is. It's still. We laugh about this, but it's still in play. Who knows how it's going to shake out? You never know what's going to happen. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Second hour of the show. We'll open up the phone lines against my better judgment. Old Man Jenkins says, Cats calling the show today. All in caps, so you know he's being serious. But D-Mac, I want to get the temperature of the room with people, because Pro Football Focus is a lot like the Detroit Tigers to me. Okay. I guess it depends on
your narrative.
What you want, what your argument is, what your beliefs are. Deep down, what you want to manifest. I think Pro Football Focus, and this just popped in my head, I think this is a pretty good comp. Pro Football Focus and the Detroit Tigers are very, very similar. And Pro Football Focus ranked the wide receiving cores of the NFL. Care to venture a guess? We're just 30,000 foot, no rosters in front of you, anything like that. Just the vibe, just the feel you get. Where would you put them?
So, Jameson Williams, even though he's suspended, he's part of the roster.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Marvin Jones, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond. How many teams? 32 teams?
Yep.
16th.
So midway.
Midway.
I would agree with that. I think you can make a case for being higher. They have a star in Amon-Ra St. Brown. I won't kill you. I won't kill anybody that says, hey, middle of the pack. I'm cool with that. 100%. You can make a case for that.
Even in saying you don't know what you have with Jameson Williams. So that's a detriment. So still I consider it right around there.
Sure.
Viable, durable. You got a possession guy. You got guys that have proven it, guys that have played with Jared Goff. So, yeah, right in the middle.
Middle of the road. That's fair. I can't kill you on that. I would have him a tick higher than that, but that's semantics at this point. I believe Amon-Ra St. Brown is the next great receiver in the game of football. Ransom says, I would personally say 9th. Pro Football Focus has been off lately. Well, Spenmo, how about this? They are ranked the 23rd receiving corps in the National Football League. Amon-Ra St. Brown took a step into the elite category, earning a 90.4 receiving grade last season. They moved on from Hawkinson in the middle of the year, but they have Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds. They added Sam Laporta, who's sure to be a decent part of their passing game. 23 is harsh.
So yeah, I mean, again, this is just a PFF because I'd have to look and see the argument to the teams ahead of them, right? You take Hawkinson out. We saw the way that we use the tight ends and we use it by committee, right? So the fact that Sam Laporta, I think that sort of upgrades you to viable. I mean, like that just. But isn't with PFF, you take that with a grain of salt and you just sort of say...
That depends on your argument.
That's what I'm saying. You take it to a grain of salt to not even with your argument, but this is ridiculous. You know what it's like? It's like Dave Meltzer's star ratings in wrestling. 5-star matches and whatever like this and how there's an argument because it's objective, Neal. My big thing is, okay, if I'm 23rd... why are the other teams ahead of me? Why from 16 to 23? What are the seven or 8 teams in the middle there that make them better than I? Because I don't see it.
Right.
And what messed with me is they mentioned Sam Laporta in that. They mentioned rookies in other, team scouting reports, whether it be Edison or Quentin Johnston or stuff like that. They didn't mention Jahmyr Gibbs or Jameson Williams at all in the Lions report.
Which is interesting. You know who else he didn't mention? Your mom's favorite skater. TK85 puts him in the top 10 alone.
That's fair.
Sorry, Sam Flannel.
No, that's the if you put TK85 in there, you would probably rank him below 25. So that's just
that's blasphemous. But D-Mac.
So to Spenny's point, right? So you have to, and I think maybe we've all become. We're not outraged by it as much, so we understand. We take it for what it is, and they don't take in all the facts. They don't take in all the facts that, Jahmyr Gibbs is probably be, how they're going to use him like they used DeAndre Swift out of the backfield, which is part of the passing game, right? So they absolutely obliterate any of that, especially when you draft the first draft pick that you draft is a running back that is more or less used out of the backfield in space. So to me, it just goes, that's PFF being PFF again and just Detroit Lions, SOL.
Well, earlier, a couple minutes ago, D-Mac, you said, well, I wonder who's ranked above them. I'm glad you asked that, D-Mac, because one really caught my eye.
Oh.
One wide receiving core. And this, there's 2 angles to this for me. Checking in at number 13 would be America's new team, the Chicago Bears, who say last year they were 32 of 32, but it's a new look group. Since the beginning of last season, they've added DJ Moore, Chase Claypool to run with, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet's coming off back-to-back solid seasons with an increase in Justin Fields' passing efficiency. This group could thrive.
That's a great team to bring up, Neal, because you're a Justin Fields simp.
I believe he's better than people think he is.
So right then and there, what PFF is telling you is that with this receiving core, that was the reason Justin Fields was not. You still got to get the guy the ball. Right, so what we'll see this year is if the Chicago Bears, if it is receivers, because that's a good receiving core, right? I don't know if I like them better than ours. I think I take ours.
Let alone 10 spots better. It's not 10 spots better. But whatever. I don't want to push the easy button and say, oh, the Lions are being disrespected. I have a different angle of attack on this. The whole PFF phenomenon. I've never seen anything like this, and I guess our society is this way now. Like, we've become this way for whatever reason. The PFF thing, and now everyone in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, it's like, well, PFF, take it with a grain of salt. We've said it, I've said it. But remember, Sam Flannel, I'll bring you into the fold because it's your guy. Remember last year when we were talking about Aiden Hutchinson?
Yeah.
What a lightning rod of discussion that was. I saw the same people would tell you, well, PFF has him number 1 in double team ranked. Mm-hmm. And then that exact same person, if PFF came out with a negative grade, would say, well, he got chip block a couple times. I don't know if PFF counts that as a double team and all that kind of stuff. What is it about PFF, D-Mac?
No,
what
because
is
the
it?
rules change. There's no line. It's always rotating. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's always moving to fit whatever narrative. And like, you look at it just to see what's going on, but what do we always say about PFF? What do they usually do the best? Isn't it when they're ranking linemen? Mm-hmm. Right?
Defensive
when they're
linemen,
ranking linemen or
linemen.
whatever, the consistency, that's about the agreed. But it's the narrative, because it changes.
And speaking of that, we're seeing this already. And look, we've had these discussions. You guys know where I stand with it. I'm a bigger believer in Justin Fields than many of the regular Detroit sports fans that are out there. Because if it all breaks down, you cannot deny he's a dynamic athlete.
Yeah.
Dynamic athlete, if it all breaks down. And there's a place for that. You can win an MVP in this league with
He
that
got an
skill
MVP
set.
vote last year.
He got an MVP vote last year, which was
he's
pretty comical.
Isn't the comparable for Fields Lamar?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. A dynamic athlete. I celebrate him a little more than most do. But again, whatever, your flavor. If you're not about it, you're not about it. I'm not going to kill you on that. But we're already seeing this too. They have drawn their line in the sand for Justin Fields. The national media, I'm warning everybody here as we get ready to embark on this season. We're all going to do our little summer things, and then when everybody reconvenes here at the end of July, we're going in.
This is a Neal Ruhl flashing yellow warning.
Be prepared for this. You can already see it. The
Imagine
National
if I had the
Football
Dragon Ball Z and I
media
could shoot fire
is
right there.
Justin Fields is next, everybody. To the national media, Justin Fields is next. Get comfortable with it, Spenny. You're seeing it. D-Mac, get comfortable with it, man.
I am.
For me, like, I'm with you, Neal. I like Justin Fields a little more than most
yeah.
Detroit fans. And I'm high on the Bears receiving core. Like, I like DJ Moore a lot.
I do too.
I like Darnell Mooney a lot.
I do not like Chase Claypool a lot.
Chase Claypool, yeah, as your third wide receiver isn't bad, but we looked at the stats yesterday on heavyweights, and like Chase Claypool was with Darnell Mooney out and Dante Pettis and whoever the hell they had else catching balls, the number one receiver for the Bears last year was Chase Claypool for the majority of the season. And he had on more targets and more catches, less yards and touchdowns than Josh Reynolds, who is the third receiver for the Lions.
Well, it just tells you Justin Fields sucks.
Yeah.
That's what that tells me.
It doesn't help that their offensive line was garbage.
Yeah.
But
Everybody get ready for it. That if we walk away from this conversation with two things. Number one, Pro Football Focus is like the new politics of the NFL. Craft it however way you want to make it fit your narrative and what you believe. And then number two, they are preparing you. They're preparing us. Justin Fields is the next chosen one, everybody. And we should have saw it last year when he got an MVP vote from somebody.
That was probably Adam Rank. That guy's a clown.
PFF is like the clay, and they throw it to you, and then they mold it any which way it fits your narrative. But you know what doesn't? What fits everybody's narrative is safety. So let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians that take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Yes, flesh and blood. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work. And Homo sapiens, yes, real people who have been proven to care. How much? They don't really care about what opinion. They care about keeping you safe, just like Sam Flannel's. Flannel protection. How many straight days of flannel protection, sir?
301.
300. and 1 straight days of flannel protection. If you have something business, personal, whatever, you need protected, please give Guardian Alarm a call today. Here's the number, 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of getting shut out, the Detroit Tigers. You lost to the Royals 1-0. Damn.
Stay out of the top 15, Bears. Come on. Like, that's a little much.
Stay out of the run column, zeros, under the Detroit Tigers' name. For Christ's sake, score a run.
Gary Carpenter, homer today. We're back, baby. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Give them a call. Tell them Big D Energy we sent you.
Right?
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. A couple minutes, we will be joined by Mariah Rose, the daughter of Fab Fiver and Michigan basketball great Jalen Rose. Talk some NBA draft tomorrow. That is afoot. Real quick question for you, Sam Flannel. And look, we get a new one of these every day, and my guess is they're not substantial, but whatever. Utah in the market to move up. They got their eye on the I believe Anthony Black, the guard from Arkansas. They want him badly. They're offering up 9 and 16. Would you do it for 5?
Probably. I think at this point, yeah.
What about you, Spenny?
No.
Well, I know because there's a guy you'll die on the hill for.
Yeah. I mean, if you could tell me Taylor Hendricks would be there at 9, yeah, I'll do it. But maybe 9-16 in a future first. I'll do that, but I'm not going to do it. I don't like trading back in the NBA draft. I don't. NBA draft is about potential and best players, so I don't like missing out on a top 5 pick for. Once you get in the teens, it's ugly.
And they are guaranteed contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that as well. I'm just saying, we're getting into the silly season with it. You know, we have some Iserman silly season stuff we'll get into in the second hour.
That's the whole thing, is that as you hear coming into tomorrow, is it, do you believe that Troy Weaver's talking when he's coming out and talking about, he's fielding a lot of calls about the pick and thinking about things. Are these smoke screens, or do they know who they want, or are they still up for grabs? Because we don't really know. But I agree with Spencer, is that for more than not, it's at the top of the draft is where you're going to find the best talent. It's sort of peters out. You mentioned from the salary cap or from the guaranteed contract point of view, you're going to have to pay it anyway, so you might as well go down with the guy that you want. I like the guy Spenny likes too, probably because Spenny likes him. But so it's different. It's weird, right? The draft isn't like it used to be. It's what are you going to do? It's like you said, the big change in the NHL, just like in the NBA, is finding that guaranteed contract or the restricted free agent or something that you couldn't get in the past.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's what it comes down to, and people will talk it, they'll talk about it, and I'm a big Taylor Hendricks guy too, because again, I've adjusted my view of this draft and trying to look at what's available for the Detroit Pistons in terms of what they need. Because I've learned this, D-Mac, from what we've seen even going back to the Lakers when Data Davis' carcass was carried to a championship by LeBron James and KCP, right, Flannel?
No, that is not at all what happened. But anywho,
really,
carry on.
I believe it is. No, but we've seen this though. The advent of the 3-and-D. You gotta have one.
Yeah,
you got to.
Yeah, and Taylor Hendricks, I don't know if he'd be available at 9, and that is who I would like as well. He might be, but I don't know if it's worth the risk of trading back, but I'd still consider it.
So, hey, we'll talk about that, though, because we are going to have NBA discussions. We're going to continue the NBA discussion right now with Mariah Rose, social media influencer, covers the NBA as a reporter, has her own podcast, too. Very, very big following on social media. Mariah, appreciate your time. Appreciate you tapping in to Big D Energy. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Oh, absolutely. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty here with you. We have Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. But hey, we're just talking about the NBA draft right now. And I do want to get this because I talked about this on the show earlier this week and curious to get your take as well. The NBA, as my son would say, is goated on the sticks as far as leagues go. Because, hey, Spenny, here's why. They've become a year-round business a la the NFL. They're doing it better than anybody else. They're doing it better than Major League Baseball, obviously better than the NHL. It's year-round, Mariah. Because, look, we're going to go into the draft, free agency, the summer league, where people are electric about, and there's not even regular games. Have you noticed this, too, that they're doing it better than anybody?
Yes, and I've also noticed that as every single NBA player has a podcast now. It's like we're hearing from them all the time. They have so much going on, and NBA season never ends. It takes away from, all the other sports going on, especially with all of the players interacting still with Twitter. They have their own access to the fans and to the media, and with things like Woj tweeting out all the time draft updates, and everybody's kind of on the edge of their seat. But I have noticed with this year's NBA draft, it's been a little bit more, I think there's been more questions around it than there have been in past drafts. So it's been a lot of fun. But yes, with free agency and blockbuster trades and everything, the NBA never ends.
Now, Mariah, you have a podcast, Hoops for Hotties, and I think that's something that everybody obviously should check out. So we're talking about the Pistons here in Detroit and obviously what they need to add to their big three in Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and Jalen Duren. Is there somebody out there in the draft that you think would fit with those three guys the best?
Well, I think that Jarris Walker is obviously a really good option for them, but I did watch Troy Weaver talking the other day about how he prefers to draft for talent and draft, quote unquote, the best player or biggest star rather than just for the best fit. So I also think Asar Thompson could be a good option. And I actually got to see the Thompson twins play a while back at Overtime Elite, and they're incredible, their box office. So it could be interesting, but I think the most important thing for Detroit this season is establishing a culture. And it's hard to build a culture when you're quote unquote tanking. And I think this is a year for culture building for them more than anything else. I mean, I think Monty Williams is a really good addition to their culture and their team to really get the guys engaged and involved. I saw Monty talking about how this is one of the first times he has seen a head coach press conference with every single player in attendance. So I think the young guys have really bought into what Monty has to bring. But there's also that option that Detroit could trade that fifth pick for a bigger star. So anything can happen with Detroit, but I think the most important thing is really establishing a culture outside of, tanking for the draft, because it was a really unfortunate situation this year with dropping to the fifth pick. But anything could happen. I think that the most important thing is really establishing that culture for those guys this year.
Talking with Mariah Rose, and I certainly agree with you. You don't have to tell the people around here about how they draft lottery worked out and everything like that. We're still hurting about that one. But Mariah, I do want to get your take on this because you brought up Troy Weaver and the Pistons and the draft and things like that. I was just talking about this with our guys here. The Denver Nuggets, I think, is a blueprint of what the Pistons can do. And I know we get lost in the sauce with Golden State about the couple years they had Durant and the chips they won there. But don't forget, too, Golden State won before Durant and after Durant with guys that they drafted. Steph Curry, Clay, Draymond Green, the guts of that team, they drafted that whole thing into existence. Denver did it too, second-round picks that were taken during Taco Bell commercials of the draft and things like that. Can Troy Weaver do that too? Is there a path here for the Pistons to do it? Because I think that these organizations have shown that they can.
I think it's fascinating what Denver did this year because all of our eyes have been on Nikola Jokic and his historical run. However, it is impressive how Denver exercised patience with their draft picks, with building the right team around him. And like you said, Nikola Jokic was the 41st pick in the NBA draft during a Taco Bell commercial. So I think they have done a good job of surrounding him with the right pieces and everything. And as for Detroit, in the future, we'll see, I hope, moving away from almost the sexiness of like free agency and a blockbuster trade and building a super team, because we've seen, like you said, with the last few champions, Golden State, Milwaukee, Denver, that formula isn't quite working, that we can't replicate what happened with Golden State Warriors and Kevin Durant. And I think Detroit is doing the right thing. Like I said, with that culture building and with having an older presence in the locker room like Monty Williams, who knows the game, who can demand respect, and young guys who are willing to listen, I think that's the most important thing for Detroit. So yeah, there's definitely potential there. I think for the Oklahoma City Thunder, there's potential there. I think that these young guys, these teams that have kind of been in the bottom of the pack for the last few years, we're going to start to see that rise as, you know, the players that are so beloved in the NBA right now, Steph Curry's, the LeBrons, are getting older. And I think that we're in a new day in the NBA, and seeing this pattern with the last few champions, the draft is definitely more important than people want to give it credit for. I know it's not as big of a roller coaster and as big as a boom as free agency and blockbuster trades, but there's still beauty in drafting correctly and building around your stars.
Mariah Rose joining us here. Mariah, you're right. Denver did do a great job with that draft, a lot better than Taco Bell has, because this was it was a perfect opportunity to bring back the quesarito. Spencer and I talked about they're missing the ball with that. But Mariah, and this will be kind of talk for you and I here, a couple of basketball people talking, where with Jokic, and again, no one's a bigger Jokic truther than me. I created Nikola Jokic from I did that, Spenny. It's almost like I drafted. Yeah, I almost drafted him. No, but I've been a big Jokic guy for a very, very long time. I think he's revolutionized the game. He certainly revolutionized the center position in the history of basketball. I was glad to see that he solidified his legacy with the performances, how dominant he was and everything like that, because he's here now. There is talk about him being one of the best to ever do it because he changed the game. To me, Mariah, that's a prerequisite to be an all-time great. You have to change the game, and I think he did that.
You know, I have mixed feelings about this, and not to take away from Nikola Jokic or his historic run. I feel like if you've been paying attention to the NBA for the last few years, you know that name, you know Nikola Jokic, and I think that the whole Denver getting slept on, Nicole getting slept on thing came from just, he's not the guy, he's not John Morant jumping out of the gym or things like that, but he is still a very exciting player and a historic player who can go get you 30, 20, and 10 anytime he wants. I do think that recency bias sometimes plays a part in these conversations we're having surrounding Nikola Jokic. I think he's incredible. I don't want to take anything away from him. I get bothered almost by the conversations that, like he should have taken the MVP from Joel Embiid, because at the time, Joel Embiid was the MVP of the NBA during the regular season. So I think he had a great postseason. I don't want to take anything away from that, but I don't want us to get too wrapped up in what we've seen recently, because again, not to take anything away from the Miami Heat, but they were an 8th seed in the NBA Finals. And I think that the Boston Celtics might have been a much more difficult matchup for the Denver Nuggets. So I would like to see what they do going forward. Not that Nikola Jokic has anything to prove to anyone, but before I'm saying he's the best big man of all time and giving him these exciting titles, I would like to see just a little bit more from the Denver Nuggets.
But Mariah, have you seen him lead somebody on an inbound pass? That's what I'm. It's incredible.
It's incredible.
All right, D-Mac, what do you got?
So he's in the conversation. Anyways, I want to take a little different tack because have the opportunity. Obviously, I played in the NHL and I won 4 Stanley Cups. Your father obviously was a Fab Five member when he was here and watching him and stuff like this. But you being a child of a star and stuff like this, because I always tell my children, and I have 4 daughters and 2 sons, is that my love of the game, just because I won, is no greater than yours. It's different. So when I see, like, you, and I apologize, but you kids out there doing your thing and representing, it makes me go back. Was there a first memory of your love of why you love the game of basketball and sort of do what you do, or was there a specific game or something? It's a question I ask my kids all the time. But what brought you into what you do now?
I think being surrounded by the game from such a young age is really why I love it so much, because it's just something that has always brought my family together. And as far as my dad and his career is concerned, I was so young when he retired that I don't necessarily remember very specifics about his career, but I do remember just the feeling of being at an NBA game and that being the most exciting thing in the world to me, and always wanting to go back and wanting to attend every single game. And then as I grew up, that was just something that me and my family did together, and it was normal to me. It wasn't like, oh my God, you're a girl and you like the NBA. That's so unique. It was like, my mom likes basketball, my sister likes basketball, my brother loves basketball. So I've been surrounded by basketball my whole life, listening to my mom teach my brother in the backseat of the car, you can't score less than 20 points as a shooter, and blah, 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 blah. These conversations were everything growing up. So I've been surrounded by the game forever, and there's no specific memory. It's just a feeling of this sport is amazing. It brings so many people together, and I love it.
Mariah, we certainly do appreciate your time. I do have to ask you this one, though. With your dad, in the conversations you have when people find out that you're his daughter, is he more known, and he was a great player in the NBA, obviously a great player, is he more known for being a great player in the NBA or being on the Fab Five?
I would say most people who come up to him right now, at least in my sister's age, my sister's in high school, are people who know him from TV, who don't even really as much know him as an NBA player. But when I was growing up, it was always Fab Five. And I didn't even really understand what that meant until the Fab Five documentary came out. But it's mostly been Fab Five kind of talks. There's every once in a while the Kobe 81 jokes, but there's definitely a mixture between those two.
Yeah. Well, Mariah, what do you have going on? Where can the people follow you on social media? You got a third of a million followers on TikTok. You got your Hoops for Hotties podcast. What else you have popping, Mariah?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Mariah C. Rose. I'm always tweeting during the games. I'll be tweeting during the draft. And you can follow me on my podcast page, Hoops for Hotties. And TikTok is my main thing right now. I'm always posting, teaching the girls about basketball, and really starting that conversation. So Mariah C. Rose on every platform. And thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely, Mariah. Be good, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Again, we'll get you back on in the future.
Thank you.
All right. Mariah Rose, our guest here. Big thanks to NEH Hoffman for setting that one up. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. People giving her props. Rich Diana, Mariah's a baller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's on point, man.
She got game.
I recognize Jalen Rose from being a lover of good music.
When you guys hang out. Well, I'm not talking about when you guys hang out together.
I'm just saying, we're both on stage at the Boldy James concert. Shit.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Because everyone gives me crap about. Now, granted, I wouldn't be on stage because I don't want to be down there with the people.
It was at the shelter, so
it's all there is a stage.
It's all there is the people. But I literally I went to fill my beer, and I saw an avenue, and I just took my avenue and just walked right through the stage, walked up on the stage. I saw Jalen. I was like, oh, because we met at the Pistons game too when we got those courtside tickets from Chad. So it was pretty cool.
There you go. Absolutely.
Cool
Spenmo.
guy. Very cool guy.
Ran a little bit late for the break there, but it was worth it, though. There's some good discussion there. Let me tell you about the sports marketing agency that spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast is called This Is the S Word. Helps fight the stigma associated with seeking help. If you are struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com. The sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Back at it here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Spencer Raxter. For now, Sam Flannel. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. As you guys always do, you take it in a direction I never would have expected. Lots of side discussion. And hey, it's draft season. NBA draft tomorrow, NHL draft next week. Will Eisman make a trade? Will Troy Weaver make a trade? What will they do? Dave Schultz says, Dave Schultz wants to trade Flannel and Ermanni for Mariah.
Oh, damn.
He wants that's a big move. That's a bold move.
That is a big move.
I'll remember that. I'll remember that, Dave Schultz.
Does that mean we're getting a bi-weekly with Jalen too?
It's up for negotiation.
bi-weekly?
I don't know how that would work. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Would you take Mariah Rose for Sam Flannel? If this isn't 100%, then we'll never have a 100% poll, right, Sam Flannel?
She was very, very good. That was a very good interview, and she knows her basketball. That's for sure.
No, she absolutely does. Appreciate
two great
Mariah.
interviews back to back.
Yeah, man. Demontre was electric too.
Yeah.
They were. So you can vote on that right now. Would you trade 100% to 0 right now?
Oh, just gonna go vote no real quick.
Oh, just like that, 92 to 8. So there it was, Sam Flannel. You're a good sport though, man. Let's go Red Wings Sparty. Rax and Rose on the weekends. A little R&R on your weekends. That would be cool. No, she was a lot of fun. Very knowledgeable, and appreciate Mariah for coming on. And Chuck Brewer says we should have asked her view on Ben Wallace. If you need to finalize the trade, D-Mac, that's what it would be, I guess, right?
Next time.
Yeah.
We got to ease her into it. We can't throw her into the pit.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things where I do like the opportunity to on Pistons Fan 11, we missed an opportunity to get Mariah's take on Milt Plum. Next time. We should do that.
We should ask everybody about Milt Plum.
Everybody that comes on.
What's the first thing you think of when you see this picture? Glory? Greatness?
Yeah.
Single bar?
NFL All-Pro?
What's the punter doing under center?
The real number 16 for the Lions?
Yeah. I have heard that before, though. Like Jalen with the Fab Five. And when I heard Mariah talking about it, I do kind of recognize it when she brought it up. But I talked about like Jokic revolutionizing the center position and doing things nobody's ever done. I think as time goes on, we know, but it is fading a bit. The Fab Five and what they did and how they changed basketball, how they changed pickup games around the world, the Black Sox, all of it. I mean, they were revolutionary, D-Man.
Right. It's sort of like the, Run DMC.
Absolutely.
It's sort of, and why wouldn't you? Mariah, whose dad is a big part of it, would come out and said, I didn't realize until I saw the Fab Five documentary. So, because we're coming, 30 years? So, I mean, it's something that history gets lost. It's sort of the narrative. So thank goodness we can refresh and remind, and sometimes people need to go back because they don't know the story. She even mentioned it. Look at my sisters in high school. Her friends all know them from TV.
Right.
They don't know the history of it. Forget the NBA.
WoodwardSports.com. Chapel will close that one out. Would you trade Sam Flannel for Mariah Rose? 82%, a late rally. 82% said yes. So a late rally by Sam Flannel's family.
Thank you for the 18%. I really appreciate y'all.
So, yeah, that's what it is. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Brandon Katz. Jokic not on Kareem, Wilt, or Hakeem's level. Has no defensive impact. 42 points on 5 shots. The game has never seen that kind of efficiency. And look, I know it's a little complicated to understand that, Brandon. I look forward to your phone call coming up here in the second hour, by the way. I look forward to that. All right, let's just put it on the table. We got 3 minutes on the segment. I'll ask you, Flannel. Am I being too geeky about Jokic? For real. Shoot me straight.
A little bit.
Am I? Okay.
I mean, I actually agree with Brandon Katz that he's not on Hakeem, Kareem, or Wilt's level or even Shaq for that level yet, but he could get there. That was an amazing stretch of basketball, but it's not typical of Nikola Jokic. That's fair. He is very, very efficient. You say the most efficient basketball player of all time, and at this point, by the numbers, he is. But 42 points in 5 shots.
Then let me stop you right there. Like we say, by the numbers, he is the most efficient player to ever play basketball. We didn't know about efficiency back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. We didn't know. It was all eyeball test. But the math says it. The math. And look, D-Mac, you know this. Math is weighed a little too heavily these days. And I get that. And I respect that. I agree with that to a sense.
To a sense.
But as we learn it, you know what I'm saying? I'll ask you, the hockey guy. Am I being crazy with this? Am I too extra about Jokic?
No, I think it just needs what everybody else is that they need a little bit again, like the more of the dominance. I think it's the fact that everybody sees, oh wow, he could be, but resume or where he's at now with the people that are brought up have done it time and time and time again. He's still got to show it more, and it's just more on the resume. But if he continues to be consistent, which that's what you expect him to be, but so unless that, you can say for this amount of time he's the most dominant big man that has changed sort of the way the game is played. I just think you just need more substance.
Yeah,
the fact that he didn't get the MVP that Embiid did is the.
It really seems to be
argument.
hurting him, right? Like it's kind of come full circle.
It is a detriment. Even how much you can say he got jobbed, he got robbed, or whatever else. But when we look at it and you listen nationally, I didn't take it from Mariah Rose that she felt that Embiid didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's that too. So there's still a little bit more. He's ascending, right?
Yes.
He's ascending, and in the next couple years with the consistency that you expect, then I think that's where the conversation. I think you're just premature by a couple years.
What do you got on it, Spenmo?
I'm with D-Mac. He's definitely on that track. He's on that trajectory to get there. I wouldn't put him there yet. I wouldn't put him over Wilt, Hakeem, Kareem, or Shaq yet. But if he continues to have the success and this dominance for a elongated period of time, he'll be there.
So next year,
just to argue your point, would you put him on your Mount Rushmore of basketball guys right now? Could you put him on, or is it because it's incomplete? He's knocking on the door. He's right there in the lobby, but you can't honestly put him there because his body of work isn't finished.
When you start talking, and I'll concede this, when you start talking about Mount Rushmores, now you need another chip. Like I will say this, in flannel, mark me on this one. They win the chip again next year. He wins the MVP. He's a Finals MVP.
Yeah,
with two other MVPs before. You're talking about MVP, 3 out of 4 years, 4 out of 5 years, 2 chips, revolutionized the position.
Okay, but isn't that the different conversation than saying because of revolutionizing the position? That's you're talking about the game. You can mention Fab Five. You mentioned Steph Curry, Jokic with the big man stepping back.
Because I put it in
more
that.
to the Dirk Nowitzki, right? Like, am I saying more to the Dirk Nowitzki what he did as the big man, playing outside also too? So
I'll grant you that they got to win another one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
soon.
Yeah. So.
I'll give you that for sure. Real quick. See, this is what I rally against. though. Rich Diana says, "What's Joker's vertical?"
That's irrelevant.
He's handicapped by that because he looks like a loaf of bread. And the day he retires, he's gonna retire at the end of a season. Like say they lose, a second round of the playoffs or whatever. He's 33. He's gonna say, "Hey, I'm announcing my retirement." He's gonna show up at the press conference the next day at 312. He's going to be 312 pounds. The next day he's going to put on 42 pounds overnight. And that's fine. I don't care about his appearance, dude. That, if anything else, it's an added bonus to me that makes him great.
Here's the thing too with Jokic's last thing. It's the eyeball test, because when you see it, it's almost unbelievable. Right, and that adds to it. If you just go by the numbers and going by, this is this big guy and this is what he looks like, then you don't get the true flavor of what he is.
No, and look, I agree. Maybe I'm being extra on it, but hey, I get my hair cut at Lady Jane's so I can be extra.
And you know what? You can walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter to win your chance to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars. 1 for you, 1 for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
second hour of the show.
Rod.
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast if you want record of this, of what we're about to do. iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker. After you subscribe, Spenny,
5-star.
give it a 5-star review. Review it. Say you would trade Mariah Rose for Sam Flannel right here, right now. Say D-Mac was great. Say Neal's what I don't care. Just give it the 5-star and give it a review. Get it pumping in the algorithms so we can get this thing moving along. Real quickly, before we do this, WoodwardSports.com chat thread, DNCENT. It takes 6 to 7 years for stars to come into their own, which is true.
That is true.
This is what? Year 7 for Jokic, and we're already having these talks. Let that sink in. 100%. 100%.
How much tread on the tires does he have?
I don't know.
I think he's got a lot, honestly.
You think so?
Yeah. Because his game isn't dictated on athleticism or anything like that.
He always looks like he's been in a 15-round fight every night.
And that's what
his body's all scratched up every night.
That's what Spoelstra said. It was like he looks tired, he looks worn down, but he's not. And he's always just he has great endurance.
He's like a savvy heavyweight fighter.
Yeah. He's like Tyson Fury.
Like George Foreman.
Yeah, Tyson Fury's a good comp.
Tyson Fury, yes.
that is a real good comp.
Tyson Fury is Nikola Jokic.
Miki Lum Phelps says Joker's the best player in the NBA. It is fact. So no, it's true. Yeah. It is true, and I do want to see it.
Him and Giannis, man, they're on equal footing right now. This is obviously Jokic revolutionized a position.
And that's the difference when you look at him, because one looks like an absolute machine and a monster and built, and the other
looks like a loaf of bread.
One, yeah,
looks like a mascot, like a Major League Baseball mascot going up and down the floor. And I love him for it. I do. I love him. I'll die on the hill for Nikola Jokic. He's on my list. Barry Bonds, Nikola Jokic, Barry Sanders, Deion Sanders, Sergei Fedorov,
Joe
Dumars, Isaiah Thomas, Connor McDavid. I'm just kind of spitballing here. Penei Sewell, obviously.
Duh.
Forgot about him. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
There you go.
It's a good 10.
I'll die on the hill. I'll draw the sword. I can look down in the valley and see an army of thousands, and it's just me with my sword, and I don't care. Because even if I go out, I'm going out with honor and integrity. So there is that. All right. Here it is, guys. We're going to weave the topics. All right? We got some stuff we're going to get to, D-Mac and I. Some discussion about Steve Yzerman around town that I kind of take exception to. And I don't know if it's for interaction, if it's from a place of ignorance of some of the people I'm hearing it from.
It's always from ignorance.
Well, some of the people I'm hearing from I have a lot of respect for.
But it's
you know
still
what I'm saying?
So
and that's fair.
It's the same like PFF. When you sidetrack to the mission at hand, which he's told you, and you know, I'll break down to a couple other things that we talked about, the caveat to what I heard yesterday.
Yeah. 313-552-6322. Call in Wednesday, second hour of the show. Against my better judgment. Here we are. Flannel, get ready to bust your ass.
This is Neal talking about Jokic.
Yeah, that is me right there. And it was like that 3 years. Can you picture that 3 years ago? Me standing against that crowd of Data Davis lovers?
Yeah.
Now that army's falling apart quickly. But still, it remains.
Yeah, but the sword, there you go. You got a sword fight. Jokic versus Sam Flannel's Data Davis.
Yeah. FJ 1967. Neal versus everyone. Let's go. But hey, where you got Rod? Where you at? 313-552-6322. Brandon Katz, where you at? The guy that promised me El Mago's back and then hangs up. I think that would be a good starter call.
That would be a good call.
Get me in a positive frame of mind. It's like a sales job, D-Mac. You want the customer to be saying yes. You want to ask them questions that they say yes to, because it feels good to say yes. So give me the El Mago's back and the hang up, please. Rod, people are calling for Rod right now.
Uh-oh.
What we got?
We got alternate helmet release.
It's out.
I'm gonna get the video right now.
Okay. All right. We do have the Lions alternate helmet. That's a good way to get into it. People are talking about it. Spencer's getting it lined up right now. In the meantime, 313-552-6322. People are asking for Rod. They want him out here. It's his opportunity to shine. Spenmo's going to get... here's Johnny said that they should put Milt Plum on the new helmet. Do you agree?
Oh, the helmets are dope.
With the one bar? They're dope, Spenny?
Yeah. Now I have to know.
Maz is going to love them.
But usually those two things are mutually exclusive.
They're dope.
I never hear something is, quote, dope, and then the next sentence I hear, Maz is going to love it.
Unless it's like dope.
All right, hold on. All right,
Dopey.
Sam Flannel says we have one. 313-552-6322. Who are we talking to?
We are talking to John Lord from the chat.
John Lord. Okay. All right, John, what's going on, man? How are you?
We gotta turn.
All right, John, you got to turn your computer down, John.
Hey man, what's up?
What's up,
What's up?
How you doing, John?
Benny.
How you doing, John?
Oh. Hey man, what's up? What's up? Benny.
John, we need you to turn on the computer.
I got a couple questions for you guys. You ready?
Let's do it.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do it, John.
Okay, can you hear me better?
Yes, we got you.
There we go.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you, John.
I can't hear you guys.
What do you got, John?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Okay. Spencer, you look so disappointed.
I mean,
And John Lord's a valuable member of this community. I'm not going to talk trash to the man.
No.
He's a valued member of Woodward Sport. Can we please get to the helmet, for Christ's sake? What is going on? 0 for 1. All right, here we go. Spencer. Oh, that is pretty dope. I love the throwback logo.
It's the Leaping Lion. It's Maz's favorite.
I like the helmet color.
I
like the blue.
Got the quick picture. I'm gonna download the video real fast. They did
Okay.
a whole hype video for it.
Where are we at with it? Ryan's reaction. No more calls. Mike G. John Lord is a Tier 1 chatter. He is.
He is.
He is a
Lord,
Tier 1 chatter.
Very respected member of the chat.
Between the Lions and the calls, the chat is exploding right now. Looks dope. I agree.
Ooh, Ryan's reaction says he hates it.
I think the Lions have one of the great throwback logos.
All right, I got the hype video.
Okay, yeah. Let me get hype for this. Here we go.
Where's the close-up?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big car guy, but that was pretty cool with the Mustang. I'm not going to lie. That was very, very cool.
No,
chat's going on.
Cool alternative.
I got a feeling it's going to be very polarizing. You're either on board or you hate this thing.
I like it a lot.
I do too. I will say that, D-Mac, I get the feeling, D-Mac, that maybe it under-delivered to you. Is that accurate?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I wanted to see the commercial under-delivered because I would have liked to see the close-up too. I want to see the Maz Lion. There we go.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Like as that alternative, something different. I can deal with it. I like the blue actually.
The blue is dope.
I like the blue. It's yeah. Now just win them.
All right, Wyatt Bear chat poll. You read my mind. Anything to get the phone number off the top of the chat. 313-552-6322. Your reactions to the new helmet. It's off to a great start. Call in Wednesday. We may do this. We're going to do this every Wednesday, I think. Every Wednesday it'll be Rod. Where you at, Rod? We're calling you out, Rod. Give us your cell number, Rod. We'll call you.
And just in case you've never done it before or whatever, please turn your whatever you're listening to down as you're talking on the phone so feedback doesn't come.
Yeah.
Because it's on delay and all that stuff. All that good stuff.
Yeah, so there it is. Let's do this then. We will take the break. We will come back. We'll get your reactions to the helmet. We'll take your calls on the helmet if you want to do that. I'm game for whatever you guys want to do. You guys want callers? Here's the opportunity to do it. We can get it in there. How'd you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, and Braylon Edwards play golf with average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports. More information coming soon on how you can be involved with the Randy Wise Automotive Team Celebrity Golf Tour.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. The Detroit Lions' new helmet has dropped. We're taking your thoughts on that. LFG says, Neal, the new helmet should have had one bar. You had one job. One job. One bar.
The old plumber. The old plumb bar. They could leave it like that, just stick the little one bar in the middle.
Yeah. WoodwardSports.com chat thread between the helmet and the call-ins. Ryan says Rod and Katz are scared that Neal will roast. I'm not that way. I'll let people speak their piece, D-Mac. Convince me of your side.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying I'm infallible or anything like that. I'm just rooted in facts and logic. And if you can defeat that, then all the more power to you. I want to do it. GW the Kid, Katz is all talk, no call, and I'm happy for that. Rich Diana, Katz and Rod saw what we do to Flannel. Guess they're not bricked enough to jump in there.
And Mike, why you ask rhetorical questions? Would Maz wear that helmet bowling on Thursdays? You know that he absolutely
Only
would.
if it were a single bar.
No, he'd do doubles just because he loves the lion on the tat so much.
Yeah. Cody Engel says only old miserable people will hate it. Buff Down Miles says if the Lions crap the bed this year, they'll be looked at just like the black jerseys. Just watch. And D-Mac, that's fair. Like the whole helmet, the success of the new helmet rides on the success of the team.
Dude, if the team doesn't make the playoffs or doesn't compete or stinks in the North here, doesn't meet expectations, the helmets will get the blame for sure.
It's like the Red Wings jerseys this year. What did they have? Those heritage jerseys or whatever they were?
The throwback with the bars.
The city edition, like hockey city edition, or whatever it was that they did. People hated the Wings one. If they would have made the playoffs this year, though,
they were loved
and clinched a playoff spot.
Oh well.
I didn't hate it.
But everybody in here
to
thinks that's cool, right?
I think so.
Do we all like it, or
Spenmo, you like them, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think Flannel likes them. I think they're fire. And look, it goes back to because I did a quick peek at the Lions logo history, and that logo debuted in the 1961 season. And people got to remember too, because some people I saw in the chat, somebody said this helmet looks same old Lions to me, which that logo they were at the top of the football world back then. They were multiple time champions. They were beating the piss out of Jim Brown in the NFL championship game, which was right before the Super Bowl, before it was known as the Super Bowl. Like that was the time for the Detroit Lions. One of my favorite I collect a little bit of autograph stuff. One of my favorite things I have a big 16x20 picture of the 57 Lions.
Oh wow!
And it's autographed by every living member from 10 years ago.
Oh, cool.
And it's one of my favorite things. and hopefully one day they get back and, they're able to do that. But I like it. I like it a lot. I thought the video was cool with what they did with the Mustang. D-Mac wanted more, and I can't hate you on that. Like I wonder if, you do would that have been a good use for like Barry or Calvin or something like that? Probably.
Absolutely.
Probably. Flannel, we got another one?
Yeah, hopefully this all goes well, but we have who appears to be the real Rod, so I'm going to send him to you.
Beautiful. All right, Rod, thanks for calling Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. Rod, welcome. What's going on, man? Rod, you're on the air at 313-552-6322. Rod. Pistons fan 11. Rod, give it to me. All in caps. Ryan's reaction says, no more calls. Chuck Brewer, greatest take I've ever heard. Okay, Rod, we'll effort to get back to you there. So we're off to a great start.
Yeah, I know the phone lines have been messed up. It's not Rod's fault.
If this one isn't on Rod?
No.
A lot like the Lions' new helmet, though. Guess who's going to wear this? Rod's going to wear it.
Rod's going to wear it.
Rod's going to wear it. That's just the way it is. I don't hold him responsible for that.
Old Man Jenkins says, I'm calling in. I think Spenny hung up on me. No.
Spenny does not control that. Nor would Spenny hang up on you.
I probably would, but I do not control that. The phones have been messed up the past couple days, though. It's true.
Noah S. says, I agree with Rod. All right. WoodwardSports.com chat poll it. Did you agree with Rod's call? Yes or no? So there is that one in the fold as well. RJ Graham says, work has been hectic today. Yes, it was. Mike G. Maz will wear this helmet on Thursday night bowling. Can we confirm that, D-Mac? Are you texting Maz right now to say,
I'm trying to see. He'd be all for it, though. He'd like one of those old ones. You're right, though. We got to get him one with one bar. I'm sure they have that in the souvenir edition.
Yeah. People, well, how about this one? Sue Yu says, blame it on the Lions' new skinny sus Pink Panther helmet. Does that line give you Pink Panther vibes?
I guess it could. I mean, if you said that that's the lion from the cartoon, the Pink Panther, I'd be like, oh yeah, because it's got, I get the vibes out of it. But I mean, it's something different. It looks cool.
Pistons fan 11. I liked Rod's call. It was just a bit long-winded. WoodwardSports.com chat poll right now. Did you agree with Rod's call? 74% of the people say yes. So that's what it is. But again, we are doing it. Lots of talk about the Lion, Pink Panther, all of that. Brandon Katz says don't care.
I agree.
Very on brand.
Very on brand. So the Lions do have their new helmet out there. D-Mac, I did want to touch on this with you. And again, we'll take your thoughts. So however you want to put it out there. Steve Yzerman press conference yesterday. And look, you got me going yesterday with what you talked about how he's, quote, prepared to deal with the consequences. As you've heard it around town.
Well, yeah.
What's kind of your takeaway? Not just a press conference, but how it was received.
Right. Well, I don't give a shit how it's received.
There you go.
Most of the time, fucking idiots receive it like they don't listen. They don't just listen when the man talks, right? And what he came out and said, right, is that he'll deal with the consequences, do what's best for the team, right? And also, too, it's like when Steve Yzerman says, I think I have a pretty firm grasp on the offseason and what other teams are looking for. Right? And then he says, prepare for the consequences. You know what that also tells me, red alert, is that, again, mentioned it yesterday, there might be somebody here. To get, you have to give. And have we ever, what do we always say? When Steve Yzerman picks up the phone and it rings another general manager, they go, damn, it's a 313, I don't want to answer it.
One of Spenny's best bits ever.
Because this time, guys, and be prepared for this, a la what Florida had to do last year. Give something to get something, and people go, man, he lost this deal, right? That's the one thing I think he's prepared for, is giving more than he ever has to get exactly what he wants, because in the long run, that's what he wants for the betterment of the Detroit Red Wings, not just for the playoffs next year, but in eventually winning the cup in 2, 3, 4 years. right? So be prepared that he's willing to swim in those waters. To me, there's only two untouchable guys in Larkin and Sider, but maybe not to him. Just be prepared. That's what he's telling you. Maybe not to him. He's in charge. So, what I say to everybody, and you want me to address everybody else, let's go back. Why don't you go grab your Xbox, your PS4, your PS5, whatever it is, run your little trade scenarios on your computer, your video game and stuff like that, and let the adults, Steve Yzerman, Chris Draper, Dan Cleary, Yuri Fisher, Kirk Maltby, all the guys, maybe like Nick Lidstrom, Henrik Zetterberg, let them figure out what's going on the ice. They have a firm grasp, and buckle up, because it's unfortunate, but it might hurt a little bit. And that's in losing a guy that you thought, man, I never thought he'd be here. If you didn't see that was cracked open in Tyler Bertuzzi at the trade deadline last year, that we all thought he was part of the future, Steve Yzerman just told you, buckle up, because you might not like it, but this is what we're doing.
And D-Mac, I'm glad you brought that up, because I do want to lay this out. And I'll be out tomorrow and Friday. And as we get go into draft week, obviously the NBA draft tomorrow, NHL draft next week, right here, right now, D-Mac, because I hear those same things. And around town, I know a lot of people, like on the other station, are talking about, there's got to be an impactful move right now.
No, for what? Impactful move for what? No, Steve Yzerman needs to make the move that he wants to make. Impactful move. No, if he wants to pass, just like he did at the trade deadline, and say, I was never buying, it's the same thing. He's not saying, I'm not buying right now, right? He's saying, I'm going to do something. He's saying, make impactful. What did he come out and say, right? We're all talking about goal scorers, and what's the first thing he said? I got to address goaltending. Okay, so, it's not what, if I can say this, he's going to give us, Wingwheel Nation, everything we want, but not when we want it, when he wants to give it to us. That's why it's #WiserPlay1919. That's all. So, that's fireworks. I think there's fireworks coming.
Okay.
And the fact is, because he knows, he knows what he has, and now it's for him to figure out how he's going to work his magic.
And my point of it all is this, D-Mac, and I keep hearing that around town about impactful moves and things like that. Guys, we need to wrap our head around this, though. And I think you've done a good job of kind of preparing the people for it. You have to be comfortable with moving something to get something. Something that you don't want to give up. Guys, do you think every name that I hear from 40 goal a year guys that's available, do you think that they're going to take 16 and 2 seconds for them? No, they're not. So
you
get
want Alex
ready.
DeBrincat, they're asking for a Simon Edvinsson. They're at end draft pick. This is the art of doing business. The best part about what Steve Yzerman says is, got a grasp on it. I know what they all want. Because the fact that he knows, it's like playing poker with Phil Ivey. You don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the long run, you're going to come up. He's going to win. And it's the long game, Neal, because what we can't do and what Steve won't do, all of us will. All of the rest of us will pull the gun early. He's got to go with what he's got it all mapped out.
And this is a question to you, D-Mac, but I'm going to take this one because I think I have the answer for it. Steve Reinhardt says, D-Mac, do you think what's a realistic opportunity Stevie Y could bring in? Or who do you think is a realistic player that Stevie Y could bring in as a scorer? And, Steve, I'll answer this for D-Mac. On behalf of D-Mac, who are you comfortable with giving up? Because that dictates what you're going to get. They're not at a fork in the road right now. This is what I keep hearing around town. They're not at a fork in the road right now. They're not. I'm not putting that on Steve Yzerman
what are we talking about?
Because of the people there has to be an impactful move or the bus is going to leave the station or anything he's not at a fork in the road. He's not.
No, he never was. So that's the people driving around that you're talking about that have no idea they're on the wrong roads, right? It's about making the playoff. The progress is the playoff next year and all that stuff and adding to it. You can have, and the question is, who do you want? He can have anybody he likes. Who are the names? DeBrincat, Connor, Nylander. All these guys.
He can have
But then
anybody
you look
he
at-
likes, but you might not like what
Right.
it takes to get him.
And because these guys that we're talking about are restricted free agents, you have to look at the Ottawas and the Winnipegs and the Torontos and see, are they in a rebuild? Would they like newer, younger guys or guys they can pick? Or would they want more veteran guys or established guys or guys they think? Like, they got to fill a roster out too. You got to play devil's advocate when you're playing GM.
I don't disagree with you on that. That's the whole thing.
The only place you don't got to play that devil's advocate is absolutely at the Dispo. Elevate your senses, embrace the harmony of nature at Dispo Dispensary. Whether you're a seasoned connoisseur or new on your plant life journey, Dispo has over 10 locations. Yes, 10 with experienced budtenders ready to serve your needs. Visit disposhops.com today. That's DISPO shops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We're talking drafts. Obviously, we talked about the NBA draft, and emotions are running pretty high right now about the NHL draft. Obviously, the new Lions helmet drop. It seems to be one of those all or nothing things. You either love it or you hate it. We're on board with it. We like it. I love the Lions old logo. I've always liked it, and it's cool to see that it's going to be out there. So that's out there in the mix for you as well. Get in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Get your thoughts out there on everything. This discussion. D-Mac's a little triggered. It's nice not being the only one, not being the one triggered. D-Mac's a little triggered right now. But these are the things, though, D-Mac, where and Detroit supremacy in the chat. Trade for Connor McDavid. Okay. Detroit supremacy. I've given you this already. You're not interested. You have to wipe it out to get Connor McDavid. I say, all right, Mo Sider. And then everyone says, no, Mo's untouchable. Well, then he's untouchable. Guys, get on board with this. You are not getting a 40-goal scorer in today's NHL for the 41st pick and the 16th pick in the draft. It ain't happening. You're not getting that. You're giving something. I see Spencer, when we talk about this, I see Spencer when Edvinson's name come up. You wince.
Yeah.
I see it on your face. But guess what, Spenny? You live in reality.
Yeah.
You want Kyle Connors. You want to DeBrincat stuff. That's what it's going to take. Mm-hmm. Are you comfortable with that?
No, but I trust Stevie. If he's comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with it.
There you go.
1919.
That's it. That's all.
He forgot more about hockey than I'll ever know. So if he's comfortable with it, I am too.
And the more I talk to D-Mac about this, the more I'm starting to believe that move is coming, and that move is going to shake people like Spenmo to the core, because you got to give some. And not only this, D-Mac, just another
shaking
primer.
To the core means you're in those waters. Everything you ever have to get when you're going to make the next level, and it's like, you didn't sign this guy, you didn't sign this guy because you didn't want him. It didn't make sense with the money, or it didn't make sense with the term, or you didn't like the player. Right? Didn't fit into the system. Now you're in the waters. I read stupid shit on here about we only rely too much on the draft because that's all he had to do. How many times you got to tell him about the way that the books were on the situation? You're still paying Abdelkader and stuff like this. How do you get out from under it? By a great draft choice. Now, here's the next level, next chapter. It's making this move, right? It started, the thing that even though we didn't make a move at the trade deadline, where did it start? Moving Bertuzzi, moving different things like that. That should have shown you that it's starting. And you know what? What you thought might be here isn't going to be here. The things that I know is he's going to continue to add veterans that will help in the locker room like he did with Perron and Sherratt. He's going to address the goaltending in some sort of way. I have no idea what that means. And then he's going to go out, and there's a guy out there that he thinks he can get. And if I'm going to guess, I think it is DeBrincat. But it's going to cost you.
And remember, and D-Mac, I'm glad you brought that up. Because, Flannel, do you guys remember what did it take to get Tyler Bertuzzi? What did it take?
Yeah, it took
first
a lot.
rounder.
Yeah,
And a second.
absolutely.
First and a second. And that's Tyler Bertuzzi, who all of us were indifferent to. You remember that
So
at
if you
the
can
end.
flip those picks, and it's going to cost you a guy or two guys and somebody that it's going to sting. But isn't that what it's part? Isn't that like back for us to get better? We had to move on from the Paul Coffeys, Dino Ciccarellis, Keith Primo's, stuff like that.
You had to retool the retool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes,
you made
this
the moves.
isn't even the second time that it's going to happen. This is just the first where you're swimming in the deep end.
Right, because it coincided with your career, D-Mac.
Oh
like
my God,
you guys,
you're doing what other teams like Florida, who just went to the finals and stuff like this, are making splashes.
You went and got guys you thought was going to put you over the top. It didn't. Then you had to go retool that a second time.
Okay, and then we got over the top.
Right.
And then we retooled it again with
To stay
Chelly
over the top.
Chelly and Wendell Clark and stuff like that. And that didn't work. Then we retooled it with Hull and Robitaille and Hasek, and that worked. And then they retooled it with whatever else. The lockout came, I left, and they retooled it, brought me back, we win again. There you go. I mean, it's all about retooling, and it's all about timing and when it all works out.
Chuck Brewer says, Neal, how about the Pistons trade Corey Joseph for Luka? Is that doable? I'd have to check the numbers on. I'd have to check the numbers on that one, Chuck. Hoof Hearted says, I hate the idea of giving away defense. Literally any offensive player for sure. But Hoof Hearted, see, that's what I'm talking about. And look, I respect you. You're a respected member of this community. But look at this team offensively. What's the biggest need?
Goal scorers.
So we don't have anything that anybody wants other than the defensive end. Like it's got to be done, guys. And look, if you're going to keep that same energy, if no moves get made, and you'll say, hey, we didn't move any of our core defensive guys, so I'm good, and you're consistent about it, then I'll say, okay, your excuse from that. But like the people around town that say there must be an impactful move, you're not going to like what it takes to do that. And I'm not saying Yzerman's not going to do that. I'm warming up to it even more and more every minute I talk more to D-Mac. But it is this, guys. It will have to be something seismic. I will just go back to it. Spencer, again, I just asked Sam Flannel this. Remember what they got for Tyler Bertuzzi? A first and a second, correct?
Yep.
What do you think Alex DeBrincat is going to cost? A multiple 40-goal scorer.
Much more.
With a year.
Two players and 3 draft picks.
With a year of restricted
and then you got to
rookie
sign
contracts. And then you got to sign them.
He did say Detroit is one of the teams that he would sign for.
Right. But I'm saying, too, if you're the Red Wings, you guys got to work in this vacuum, too. Yes, I understand that, Spenny. I'm not picking on you. But I know that's the narrative.
Yeah.
That's part of the list that he put out there that he would, quote-unquote, go to. I understand that. But you still have to beat the best offer of somebody else that wants him to. That's, interested in a multiple 40-goal scorer guy. And you could say what you want about his size. The resume's the resume. And the cost of acquisition is there. It's a huge move. It's a huge move.
Right, and then you do comparables, right? Because who would that be like adding back in our day? Would that be your Shanahan? Is that your score? Is that your Shanahan? And the game's changed. You don't need to be Irish and fight and whatever like this, but he's that guy. Right-hand shot, power play, guy that you expect 40, maybe 50 goals. Top end.
You know what I would like about it too? I officially get to see. I think I know. I'm 95% that I know. But I would officially get to see what I have with Dylan Larkin, with a 40-goal dude out there.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
But maybe even more because Stevie knows what he's at and spit it up, that maybe you won't get a chance because he's going to add that 1C also.
Sure.
Maybe he adds a Nylander and a DeBrincat or a Connor or something like that. But to your point, hey, that'd be a great consolation, though, if DeBrincat played with Larkin, right? And then you could see what he got. We already know what he's a point-of-game guy without any help.
Right.
With
Sports.
minimal help at different times, but not a consistent seasonal help.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread Mike G. Will the Oilers take Zadina for Connor McDavid? Flannel. What if we were to do this? You would be a proponent of this because a couple messages down the list.
No, because Uncle Kenny's not there anymore.
Steven Siret says, I bet you could trade TK85 for McDavid. What if we traded TK85 to the Eskimos and the Red Wings got back Connor McDavid?
Oh, man.
I would need a little more, personally.
Oh, you would need a little
Yeah.
bit more. That's funny. The best hockey player in the world versus a scrub wide receiver. I think that's a pretty fair trade for the Detroit Red Wings, that's for sure.
He would dominate the CFL, the likes of which they haven't seen since Rocket Ismail.
He might do well in the CFL. That is fair, actually.
He would dominate it.
He might have an 1,000-yard season in the CFL.
Pinball Clemens. Another great name. Warren Moon. If we're talking about CFL guys.
CFL Hall of Famers, 248.
So, yeah.
Chris Fry is good in CFL. Spartan Dog.
Steven Siret takes exception to your reference of TK85 as a, quote, scrub. And you know what? To be frank, I do too.
I knew you would. I knew you wouldn't like that, but maybe...
Scrubs don't have game-altering third down catches for first downs.
Maybe he had a couple, but
Yeah.
I still stand by. He will not get a single reception this year. I'll be enjoying my coffee at the end of the year.
Yeah, you'll get 3 if it happens, but after week 1, you're going to owe us each one.
We'll see.
What if he gets the game-winning touchdown catch against your Kansas City Chiefs?
My Chiefs. I'm rooting for the Lions, man.
No, you're not. You're not allowed.
Yeah.
Spenny, Neal, and I are not allowing you to cheer for the Lions that day. We're gonna watch you. We're gonna seclude you wherever we're watching the game. Maybe we'll just lock you in that booth.
BD3, that's big facts, Neal. Dirty Dr. D. He hate me in the XFL. He was another Canadian football league. Who's your favorite CFL player? 248. Who's your favorite, Rod? No, again,
Flutie Flakes.
Flutie Flakes. Yeah, that is. I'm just glad to see that TK85. Steven Siret wants a TK85 tramp stamp for Sam. If he catches the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl, will you get a TK85 tramp stamp?
No, absolutely not.
He's married now. He can't be doing that crazy stuff.
Why not?
I'm not getting
because
any
he thinks
tramps.
it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yes. You're not going to get me, Spenny. You're not going to do it. I'm not getting a tramp stamp in any way, shape, or form.
I got
ever.
2 tattoo bets on. Well, 3 all in. 3 tattoos in total, but 2
You have
bets.
a tramp stamp bet?
No, I have a thigh bet and a behind the ear bet.
What about a behind the ear one? Just TK85, real small.
Define game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Like the fourth. It's got to be in the fourth
what
quarter.
Cooper Kupp did against.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Cooper Kupp for the Rams.
You'll get a TK85
John Taylor
small.
for the 49ers.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll take that deal.
Add it to the list.
You got him. Come on. Come on. Oh, yes. Saying there's a chance.
It's not an inner thigh tattoo.
No.
It's just a thigh tattoo.
Nor is it TK85's face on your body or any foolishness like this.
It's probably going to happen, too. And I want it to happen. Like, I'd be happy at the tattoo shop if I'm getting Dan Campbell's face on my thigh.
Maybe you and Flannel can get a group rate.
Yeah.
Can you imagine TK85?
Couple stats.
With 40 seconds left.
Yeah, if Jared Goff. Hopefully it's Hendon Hooker throwing it to him and not Jared Goff, so I don't have to get the tattoos as well.
Could you imagine that?
That'd be electric.
You guys could ride together, save on gas, get a group rate on the tattoo.
It's true. Couple stats.
D-Mac.
We could have a spot.
I've never wanted anything more in my life than TK85.
I love Rick. Define game-winning touchdown.
Let's go Red Wings
catch.
Sparty
It's pretty
said.
selfish. Hey, that's in flannel for it. So game-winning touchdown catch. Explain that. Doggy.
You know it when you see it. Let's go Red Wings Sparty. You're still getting grit and Tupac script above the belly, right, Spenny?
If Jared Goff wins a Super Bowl for the Detroit Lions, yes. That is the bet. I'm a man of my
We're
word.
gonna have a day at their tattoo parlor. This is
And
gonna
a
be
16
awesome.
And 16 behind the ear. Yes. I doubled down.
I can't. Hey, as the season goes on and we get closer, in probably a couple of years, I'll put the press on karma-wise because I want to see that.
And I want to see Strawberry Fest at Big Boy. Maybe Flano will get a strawberry tattoo on his leg. We'll see. Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. Classic breakfast items. You know the strawberry hot cakes, the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Not a breakfast person? That's cool. I'm not either, but I am a strawberry bacon chicken wrap person or a refreshing summer splash salad. Don't forget dessert. You can get the berry delicious classic strawberry pie, deep fried vanilla Oreos, or the strawberry hot fudge cake. All of that is for you at Big Boy Strawberry Fest.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, Ellis Tractor, Steel, and more, servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipmentCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
Back at Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. And Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Brandon Katz, CFL used to have a decent amount of top players. They did. Warren Moon was a product of it. Also on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Adiz 411, the CFL Hall of Fame is close. It is. It's in Hamilton. And that's egregious that I've never been there.
Tiger Cats.
I need to go.
Didn't know that.
Chris Fry.
I didn't know that either.
I think he won 2 Grey Cups with the Tiger Cats.
See? There you go.
Spartan Dog.
You got a Tiger Cats jersey?
I kind of want to get one.
Yeah, I know.
I
you
do.
do. They're not bad.
They're pretty cool.
They're pretty sweet.
Mike G in the Woodward Sports chat said, Spenny, will the DC inner thigh tattoo be reaching into your junk area like Michelangelo's Adam? No, it's not an inner thigh tattoo, and it will not be reaching to my junk area. That's a great comment.
It's just thigh.
It's just thigh.
It's not inner.
It's not inner thigh. It's just right on my thigh. I got big thighs. So.
Flannel, for real. What would your wife say if you had to get a TK85 tattooed behind your ear?
I mean, I don't think she would be thrilled with it, but a bet's a bet. I don't think she would leave me or anything. It's odd, a man in his early 30s getting his first tattoo ever. It seems kind of late, but hey, I am very, very confident that scenario will not play out.
Okay. Doug Flutie, Canadian Football League Hall of Fame member as well. So, I forget how we got on that. Oh, because somebody wanted to trade TK85 for Connor McDavid. I gave you the path.
What about Javi? What if you throw in Javi?
They don't want it.
Spices it up a little
Spices it up a little. Yeah, no. He'd probably be better in the CFL than he would be at swinging a bat.
Probably better at taking slap shots than he would be at swinging a bat.
Better success rate.
Yeah.
Or the CFL, NHL, whatever, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just not here. Not here, not anymore. But yeah, we're just rapping about it. Real quickly, too, the NBA draft is tomorrow. I keep seeing this everywhere, D-Mac. The Ermanni Bates thing, everybody, it sounds like it's not happening. Anywhere.
Anywhere.
You don't
think he'll get drafted at all?
The scouts I talked to, man, crushed him. Crushed him. It is definitely not happening with the Pistons at 31. I'll tell you that for certain.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just saying, man. I know that's gonna break a lot of hearts. Maybe not as bad as Sam Flannel's wife's heart will be broken as he's got to get a TK85 tattoo. But you know what? Hoof Hearted says the money works because Javi makes more than Connor McDavid.
It's true, a lot more, a hell of a lot more.
No, we're not talking about junk or anything like that. So just stop.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
RJ Graham, if Michigan wins the Natty, will Sam Flannel get a tattoo of Jim Harbaugh yelling at your junk?
No, absolutely not. That's my coach.
Yeah. So there's that out there as well. The NBA draft stuff, as we said, is tomorrow. Tigers, they need to get a win. I'm still confused about this Tigers team. I'm still confused about the Tigers fandom. I'm still confused about how people can get irrationally mad about a lineup decision that A.J. Hinch makes, and then they lose 1-0 because they get two-hit shut out by the Royals, by some of the worst starting pitching that we've ever seen in the game of baseball. D-Mac, it's just a desperation thing, right? We're just desperate.
It's Jekyll and Hyde, buddy. But it's more like, but people aren't outraged, are they? It's just sort of matter-of-factly, and from what I find, it seems like people are tuning into whether it's, enjoying the broadcast, whether we've talked about it before with Andy Dirks or even like Daniela Bruce. I've seen it all through Twitter. People are enjoying the experience, getting downtown, nice nights and stuff like this. So I think because we thought it was going to be so dismal at the beginning of the year that this is acceptable, right? It's acceptable, and how bad it is. It's so in the whole scheme of things, it shouldn't be acceptable, but because of what we've had here, right, in all our sports for the last 10 years, it is. So just that's the why. So accept it and enjoy it. And I'm actually proud of Tigers fans, but you can't be mad. Like Neal, it's pointless because you mentioned the whys. Hey, he came back from injury. Hey, I'm sure that when they come back, it's sort of, we're going to rest you here, you're going to play here and stuff like that. Just unfortunate the rest of his teammates could not have bailed him out.
Real quick, the Tigers playing this afternoon, they have released the lineup. Kerry Carpenter is hitting third, everybody, so calm down.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go. Yeah. We're back, baby. We are back. Kerry Carpenter's hitting third.
Hit one, and they're going to hit a deal with tomorrow. It should have been in. It should have been 3 days in a row.
Matt Vierling back tonight as well. He's hitting 7. I think I might have to. Let me see the line. I have to check the line real quick, D-Mac. We might have to make a rash decision here. Let me see. Everybody calm down. A little lunch action.
A little lunch bet?
We may have to see. Let me just get the numbers. Everybody calm down here for a second. Because I'm out tomorrow, Spenny. Pistons. Who am I going to hear at number 5?
Probably a Sir Thompson. That's what it's looking like for me. With what Troy Weaver was saying about home runs and not settling for bunts or doubles and stuff like that, I think it's going to be a Sir Thompson. If they stay.
What do you think, Final?
I would probably agree with Spenny on that one. That's not who I would choose. I would take Taylor Hendricks just because of his 39% three-point shooting, the fact that he's a 6'9" wing that can defend.
7'1" wingspan.
7'1" wingspan, but yeah, to me it's looking like a Sir Thompson. I don't love it, but he does have a lot of talent.
He can defend pretty damn well, too.
Yeah, he does have a lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean,
I want Taylor Hendricks, too.
I love the concept of the 3-and-D.
Yeah.
I just do. You have to have one to win, man. Like it all comes back to. Hold on here. Hold on, everybody. Tigers Royals this afternoon. Kerry Carpenter in. Matt Vierling in.
Big bats in the lineup, baby.
Matthew Boyd on the mound. Brady Singer on the mound for Kansas City, and the Tigers are minus 140.
Putting your reputation on the Tigers?
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
It doesn't smell right. I will say this.
Yeah.
It's too good to be true. I was expecting 170 at a minimum.
What is it?
Minus 140.
Nick Maton out, says PD. Nick Maton.
We're 41 and 13.
130.
Are you gonna do that? Are you really gonna do
We're
this?
41 and 13.
See, this is. Let me just tell you, this is where, like, you know, this is what he does, and this is where he can step out and whatever and go with it. This is what makes him him.
We're 41 and 13. The Royals won a game. They're not going to lose the series. I'm talking through it. We're doing it. We're going in. Get right, everybody. Get right, everybody. Tigers minus 140. Get right. We're 41 and 13. I don't do this lightly. I wanted to see the lineup.
You're taking your 76 win percentage.
I saw the lineup. We're going in. And for the knuckleheads out there, here's the deal as far as the record goes. We're at minus 140. I'm prepared to lay minus 150 on it.
Damn.
I get a win. I get a win. We go to 42 and 13. I get a loss. I get a 1.5 in the loss column.
Ooh, wow. Willing to take the oh. Damn.
Go in.
Wow. Almago. Is he back? Is
Yeah,
he going to bail
watch it.
Neal out? Is it Almago or is it a Carpenter Vierling effect? What are you going with? Who's going to bail you out?
Carpenter.
Neal, watch El Mago have an error in the top of the ninth to give the Royals a couple runs. To
I'll be glad I'll be up north.
Don't
I'll
worry,
be glad I'll
Spenny,
be up
we'll
north.
put that on the shelf till Tuesday.
This,
for sure.
This is it right here.
He did it, folks.
This is it right here.
He's
Mike
not
G.
scared.
Mike G. Hit the button and get soft feet, yo.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Noah asked quite simply, we move.
We move.
It's become an army.
Yeah,
I'll get tweets about it.
for sure.
Let's go.
We are in there.
I'm locked
Let's go
in.
Red Wings party.
I'm gonna
Get
have
it.
to turn that on my golf round now. I'm gonna listen to the ball game
Yeah.
just to see.
Get it
We're
right. Get it tight. Dirty Dr. D. Thanks, Uncle Neal. He knows. It's not how much you're betting. It's how much you want to win.
Mm-hmm. It works. Works for me a couple times.
Hey, yo, Dan Wood, get right. Jack Harrington, oh, wow, get right time. And it does. The people don't care. They don't care that I'm right 76% of the time.
No,
it's all about,
it's about today.
And guess what? I got broad shoulder. I'm here for you, the people. It is time to get right. You want to get your insurance game right? There's a move there. There's a get right for that, too.
Absolutely, and the get right is Swiss Insurance. And now that summer's here, it is important to make sure you are properly covered. Whether it's a grad party or just a group of people over to enjoy the lake or pool, your liability exposure increases significantly in summertime. Let the Swiss Insurance Group review your coverage and make sure you are protected from an unexpected loss. Check us out at swissins.com or call Mark today at 248-800-4177. Again, that is 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. Real quick, Big D Energy and WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Punch God says, Neal, you got to get right. You'd parlay that pick with. Not how this works, Punch God. I just give you a winner. You name the price you want to win. We're 41 and 13. That's what the reality is.
You get frosty, you bet it straight, and then you can pick. It doesn't guarantee, but he's giving you half of it.
Yeah. You know, you got a number you want to get saucy with it. Then, sprinkle your main portion, your steak, on the main line, and then sprinkle just a little tiny bit on the run line. If you want to get cute, I'm not calling for that. I'm just saying if you need more than that, that's my best offering for you. I'm very confident. today in that. D-Mac, you brought something to my attention.
I did because I wanted everybody to see, obviously, and I'm not going to go on a diatribe about Chris Osgood and the Hockey Hall of Fame, but they announced...
Though we have in the past.
Right. They know my feelings of it, but yesterday it was Alexander McGillney was bypassed for the Hall of Fame, right? I think Marion Hossa got in. I forget the list.
Jerome McGinley.
Deserving.
Yeah, very deserving.
Hossa, obviously.
Yeah.
And a couple other guys. But Alexander Mogilny, who one of the first Russians to defect, a guy who's got close to 500 goals and played in the career. To me, I think it's a bigger, if you wanted to ask me, the bigger disgrace. I found the bigger disgrace than Chris Osgood being in the Hall of Fame, and I think I would die on the hill for Alexander Mogilny. Now, we're such a stat-based society and about goals, assists, or whatever, but no, what it meant at the time when he came over, he was part of that Pavel Bure, Sergei Fedorov contingency. You know, I remember watching them playing for Team Russia in the World Juniors. He was a world-class player, and to me, this is such a joke, and it doesn't surprise me in my league. To me, this is along the lines that if you're going to explain in history the narrative of how it happened, it's along the same lines as putting asterisks into the steroid era to explain what happened. If you're going to omit this from the story, because to me, the juice, Neal, you can argue his stats if you want, his numbers, but the story to the game and what he meant at the time in the late 80s, early 90s, it's bigger than that. It's about the narrative, and it just makes me wonder how many, which you know is reality, how many stories like this have been lost in the history that we need to know that would change things. So I just thought it was a bigger joke. If you want to know something that I laughed at even bigger than Chris Osgood, it's Alexander Mogilny. So.
And D-Mac, and you know I'm a big Mogilny guy, obviously. I love the Russian players, love the way they played. It was so entertaining to watch them play. And for like the stat heads out there, 473 goals, man. 1,032 points in 990 games. And again, and look, I'm not the old guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I adjust to the way people think and look at it through their perspective and can't blame them. But Flannel, like the context of it, it gets lost sometimes. Like you're a big numbers guy, right? You're one of the best in the game at doing it. A huge numbers guy. And I hadn't even thought of it. And I watched Mogilny play. I was a little kid, but I watched Mogilny play and liked him. That I hadn't even thought about that angle of attack that D-Mac did. He started the Russian defection game. Like he started it. That's not on hockeyreference.com, bro.
Sure. And I wonder if I know this isn't a perfect comparison, but is this at all like Yao Ming getting into the Hall of Fame? Because by the numbers and the longevity, he probably didn't deserve it, but he was one of the first faces of the game becoming more global and being a global superstar. And when you even talk about numbers with Mogilny, he had a 76-goal season. He was more than a point-a-game guy. He had 2 100-point seasons. So I'd say even by those alone, he definitely has a case.
76. He had 27 power play goals that year.
That's
unheard
fucking wild.
76 goals in a
Mm-hmm.
127 points.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He was incredible.
You miss the narrative if you leave him out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think it's too black and white, especially these days.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. And Flannel, I think even you deep down would agree that does get lost in translation. I'm guilty of it too. I'll point the finger at me too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, as long as you're open
But
to
he's
it.
going to point 2 fingers at you. So.
Rich Diana says, D-Mac, congrats on your boy ending the 69-year drought in Toronto. Awesome. Well, no one can save that situation.
Toronto.
And that's not my situation. That's karma from a young age.
There you go. So that will do it. I'm out the rest of the week. You got D-Mac and Lindsay, just a couple of champions.
They're perfect. Couldn't think of a better person to have on the desk for draft day.
Yep. So there you have it. Lots of NBA draft tomorrow.
Basketball-centric tomorrow.
Yeah, there you have that. So for D-Mac, for Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, big thank you to Mariah Rose for joining the show as well. My name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network.